Hi, it's Robin McDonald back with you. We're just going to continue the interview now.
Okay, so you said it doesn't really matter if it's baby blankets in New Zealand or baby blankets in America.
That's right. We're talking about the context of linking, so it's you wanting to achieve a ranking in baby blankets. If you've got a good linking structure coming in with somebody that's promoting those kind of goods from somewhere else in the world, that's just fine.
So they're not a competitor because they're in a different market.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've got the keywords and then the linking structure. Mm-hmm. What else? What other aspects are there?
Well, there are other aspects. Really, if we go back to the context of what we're talking to the client about, we're talking to the client about delivering content to their target market. So I think you really got to now ask yourself, where's the target market? So we know people are searching on Google for things, right? We just address that, and you're going to get their website up in the areas that they want it to be up in. The second thing you've got to think about and ask yourself is, where else are these people? Who are they, and where else are they online? What are they doing? Where are they hanging out? And the big phenomena that has grown over the last couple of years is social media marketing. And this is something that we're quite excited about at the moment. But there's communities of people, millions and millions and millions of people around the world joining these social media sites. Facebook, Bebo. I think YouTube is one. So they're really vertical search engines. I can see them growing into their own little search engines, and they are already. It's new, but relatively accepted for businesses to be putting profiles on these social media sites. Now, if you think about, people go onto the sites. If you've never been on one, have you ever been to Facebook?
No.
Okay, so go home this afternoon and log on to Facebook. You can join groups, discussion groups on any kind of topic. You can find out what's going on in New Zealand. If you're in the UK and want to come out here on a holiday, somebody's probably made a video and told you some really cool places to go. Or, there's a whole lot of really informative information. There's a lot of junk too, but there's a lot of informative information. Businesses are starting to set up their profiles, and because most businesses are experts in their area, they are in a context, they're educating the market in these social media sites. So that's where we go next, is we go, okay, what kind of industry are you in? Where are your buyers or end users in these are they in the social media sites? And so we look at the possibility of setting up a campaign in a social media environment, and just kind of what messages you're going to deliver. So this is the online marketing, and now we're talking about communication with your end users.
Okay, so you said about educating the market. You mean educating them about what products are available, or actually giving them some of your intellectual content?
I think you're really giving them some of your intellectual content. That you're giving a little bit away first, so that they can see that you're an expert in your field, and you build trust and awareness.
Mm-hmm. So, maybe it would make sense to use my example as an example, and we can have a look at it and see how that would work. So, one of my other businesses is preparing houses for sale and advising people on how to do that, and I have an audio product which is available for sale on my website. So if I were to go down this track of using the social media networks, as an example, what would we do? Okay,
so I would think you're helping people sell their houses, right? So I haven't looked at this, by the way, but I would go on to the social media sites and see what kind of communities and groups there are set up around DIY, around renovations and DIY, around property investment, and just off the top of my head, that's what comes to me. So I would imagine there's groups there, people discussing how to make the best of their do-ups and that sort of thing. So that's your target market. It's a beautiful market for you, and it's really, you can offer a profile on yourself and put a mini clip. To just a little taster, and you set yourself up with a profile, and then you invite friends. So you could go through your database invite your current client list in to be your friends and start discussion, debate.
And possibly join some existing groups and start to contribute things there.
Contribute, exactly.
Yeah.
So that, just off the top of my head, that's where I'd take that. You really still always got to be thinking that's the doing, but you've got to be thinking, what content am I going to deliver to whom?
Yeah, and just in case anybody's interested, the website for that is homestyle.co.nz. So, so there we're looking at delivering some of our intellectual content and joining discussion groups. Really, I guess that's just raising our profile in the area of people who would be interested.
Yeah. I have this term called mirror marketing, and I believe that everything that happens offline has a mirror example online. So you've just got to find it. So the really neat thing to do is to take your offline marketing plan. If you really don't know where to start with online, take your offline marketing plan and find the mirror example online and deliver it to the same channel.
Great. Okay, so what's the next step then? Are there more areas to look at, or where would you go with a client?
I think this really isn't stopping. More areas to look at. Yeah, we are always trying to be at the leading edge of whatever is happening on the internet. At the moment, we're using a lot of YouTube, which is a lovely way of getting audio out there. We find that a lot of our clients aren't reading content as much, and they will listen. And view a whole lot more, so you get to know personalities that way as well. We're looking at starting up our own TV channel to be able to deliver content like this a little bit more. So we're just testing these examples for ourselves first, and then applying it to clients.
Yeah. And I can clearly see, that you're an expert, and to go to an expert and have this done for you is really the only way to do it. Because if I were, for example, to jump in and try and do this myself, I can imagine that it would be
it can go pear-shaped
process, very ineffective, and ultimately, probably a little bit demoralising.
It can be extremely frustrating.
Yeah. We
offer a range of services. We offer consulting and doing. Many people like to do it themselves. They just want to be shown how. And we do show. You can learn this online yourself. You can go to lots of forums and spend a lot of time learning. We can come to an expert and learn off an expert, and then we can set you up for success, and you can go away and do it yourself.
And I'm always a great believer in letting the expert do what the expert does, and I do what I do.
Yeah. It's really get on with your day job, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Robin, you've been doing this for 9 years, which is quite incredible to me. It seems like it's very new. It's newer than that. So, how did you get into this business?
That's a pretty funny story. I was a physiotherapist, and I was pregnant with my first child, and decided that I really wanted to work from home. And it was just the very early days of search engines and online marketing and building websites, e-commerce websites. I had a passion for design and homeware, and so I set up an e-commerce store promoting New Zealand applied arts and homeware. In the process of that, I learned a lot about how not to do it. And I became an expert in search engine marketing. The whole context of my marketing plan was that I wanted to get out to the world with this website. 9 years ago, in hindsight, we were too early, but I learned this skill, and from that I started applying the skill to other people with websites. And then in those days, it was really people with bricks and mortar businesses that had a website on the side. They worked better. I think today you can definitely have a website that is your business without the bricks and mortar. So that's how I got into it. Google didn't even exist.
So we're in the days before Google. There were search engines, though. I guess it was Yahoo.
Yeah. AltaVista, Hotbot. Oh man.
Back in history. Okay. So we've got a sense now of what you do. Now, would you say what you think are your main talents, what you're best at?
I think I'm really good at getting an idea of somebody's business very quickly